Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. This is part two on page 12. This is on page 131. I'm going to zoom in everything, so be patient. I'm just showing you what the whole page looks like. So Jehovah Witness can't say that I'm adding stuff to a page. So some of y'all can see it, but I'm going to explain everything. There's a lot of half-truths and lies on this page that Watchtower made to indoctrinate Jehovah Witnesses. You'll see two sticks in the guy's hand. It used to be one stick, but if you look at this area right here, it has a ridiculous comment that is going to blow you away. And if you have knowledge of the Bible, you will be able to see through the deception and the lies of everything in this. So let's get started. Okay. When they left Egypt, Israelites, they was one nation. So there was one stick. But let me throw this out before I get any further. Jehovah Witnesses claim these sticks represents their anointed, and the other stick represent regular Jehovah Witnesses. By the Bible, one stick represent Judah and the other stick represent Israel. So let's get that out of the way. Now, this is a chart, the kings of Judah, and this is when there was one nation and one stick. The stick wasn't broken in half yet. Okay, now we notice that you got King David, Solomon, Rehoboam, if I'm saying that right. Now, let's see where did the nations broke apart. This chart, if you Google Kings of Israel and the Kings of Judah, you'll get this chart. And you see, I'm not making nothing up. Jehovah Witness. Rehoboam. He was an evil king. Okay, that was the time frame when Israel, the 10 kingdoms, was fed up with him, and they appointed their own king, and they split it away from Judah. And when this happened, 925 through 886. 886 is the destruction with the last king, Zechariah, and with the fall of Jerusalem and the first temple by King Nebuchadnezzar. So this chart proves that Watchtower lied to Jehovah Witnesses about 607, because I have found no charts. And I mean, I looked, there's no charts anywhere unless it's on JW Library that has 607 BC, the fall of Jerusalem and the fall of the temple. There is no records on the internet to prove that, and that is one of the biggest lies of watchtowers teaching Jehovah's Witnesses. So I just want to show you that when, because like I said, part of that on that page, they made a stupidest nonsense in one of those paragraphs. It's going to blow you away. Okay, let's get into this. For Judah, ancient times, 2 tribes, kingdoms of Judah. Okay, that sounds right. Modern times, the anointed. This is not talking about Judah. This is talking about the governing body members. Like in my last video, they had Samuel Hurd in the audience with his wife and making stupid nonsense that, oh, they just ordinary people. You can't tell them from Jehovah's Witnesses, the ordinary Jehovah's Witnesses. Everybody knows the governing body claiming to be the anointed ones. If you had another person from another kingdom hall that was part of the 144,000, you wouldn't know he's part of the 144,000 unless he tells you he's one of the anointed. But those 8 men, yeah, you know who they are, who they claim to be. So on this one side, the modern times, the anointed has nothing to do with the Jews or Judah, what their name used to be. On the right side, for Joshua, the stick of Ephraim, ancient times, 10 tribes kingdom of Israel. Now, this is not talking about on the other side of the governing body. This is talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. So you got half-truth of the ancient times of Israel, and the lie about the modern times is talking about the other sheep, is talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, the Bible mentioned there is other sheep with Judah and Israel. That's what we call the great crowd. But that is Gentiles. It's not talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, ancient times, 537, true worship returned from the nations, rebuild Jerusalem, and worship as one nation. Well, that is true, but the one part is a lie where it says worship as one nation. Remember, this has not happened yet, people. Judah and Israel is not one nation again. They still separated. That is a future prophecy. Future prophecy. Now let's go down to the modern times. This is the funniest joke, but not worse than the other one. Modern times. Since 1914, God's people. Now, is this talking about the 10 tribes of Israel or Judah? No. God's people are gradually recognized and united to serve as one flock. This is talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, now here comes the main one. Remember the chart that I showed you, and when the one stick was broken in half? Okay, let's read it, people. Becoming united is the focus. The prophecy does not describe one stick that is first torn in two. Excuse me. The Bible does teach that. And I showed you the chart. So let's read it again. The prophecy does not describe one stick that the first torn in two, then later brought together as one. The problem with this comment, the Bible teaches in Ezekiel and other places that in the future, those two sticks will be back together. So there will be the Jews and all the tribes of Israel will become one big nation, and they will not be separated. They will not be torn apart ever again. That is God's word promise. They will be united forever. You don't see that in here. So let's continue. Whether it describes two sticks that become united as one, hence the prophecy did not focus on how the nation of Israel became divided into two kingdoms. Rather, it focused on how the two kingdoms become one. Now, I showed y'all the chart of Judah on one side, Israel on one side, because Rehoboam was an evil king, and the 10 tribes did not want to have no part of him. And that's when they picked a king. So they had their kings, just like Judah had their kings. So Watchtower is telling Jehovah's Witnesses they are stupid because, or calling them stupid. Because if Jehovah's Witnesses was reading the Bible, they would have known when this happened, how it happened. The Bible is God's word. It holds the truth. This is just ridiculous nonsense. It's just trying to say, and this is, well, let me try it this way. I know the reason why they put this garbage here, because I thought about this a couple of days ago when I saw this. So Jehovah's Witnesses claiming that they was divided as two sticks and they become one. And they're supposed to stay as one. But the problem is, I was thinking, then how would they been divided in the first place? Because every person became a Jehovah's Witness. No one claimed to be part of the 144,000 till they started becoming a Jehovah's Witness and got deep research, and some reason in their head they thought they was part of the 144,000. So they start taking the emblems, eating the loaf, and drink the wine. And I think what it is, they just want to have a super privilege, because if they could become elders or minister servants, hey, why don't I just be part of the anointed? And now I am better than the elders. I am better than the regular Jehovah's Witnesses, because I am anointed. Now people's going to have me coming over their houses, that they're going to be my friends, because I I am chosen by God. So this is why all this nonsense. And like I said, on the left side, it's talking about the governing body. On the right side over here is talking about the Jehovah Witnesses. But the truth of the broken stick is Israel and Judah. And the Bible said God was going to bring them back together in the hands, I think it was in the hands of Ezekiel, and they would become one stick again, and they will be one nation, and they will not be ever broken again. So I hope this video will teach people Jehovah's Witnesses is victims to their own religion. I know I was a victim to this religion till I did research to prove that I was in a dangerous cult created by a watchtower to force us to lie. I mean, this nonsense, we are supposed to go to people's doors, which they're not doing that right now, but if they was going to people's doors or on their cars, they're supposed to teach this lie to the public to make them think they are chosen to be by God, to replace the Jews, replace Israel. People, we have been dumped, lied to, and it's our turn to wake these people up. And these two sticks has nothing to do with the governing body or Jehovah's Witnesses. Please, listen to the truth. Thank you.